Not on my end.
This is.
There's a phone face as the camera can handle the phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Ah.
You are a
Hey.
genius, Mark, but now I can't. Oh, my God.
Oh, I see that.
No, we can't see you.
It needs to be flopped.
It needs to, well, but the funny thing is, apparently on live, maybe you can or can't. There we go. Hold on.
Ah, hey, look at that.
We've sorted it out. And for anybody watching, we are professionals, right? There we go. Yep. All
What's up,
right.
guys? Hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you well.
Yes.
I'm actually going to keep you on my phone here so we can hear you even easier because you're way back there from all the way over here.
All
Okay.
right, excellent. Excellent. Nice to see you. Tell me where you're at today. What's going on?
So we're at Gingerbread Raceway, and we're not at Gingerbread Raceway. We are at Putnam Park because the sign's right there. But I think we should do the intro first because technically we're live and we've gone through a whole bunch of foibles getting here. So this is the 2024 Tire Rack One Lap of America presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine with the coverage brought to you by, well, them, Hooked on Driving, Everyday Driver, and and Cody. Here's my HOD guy, and the Valente, right? And help from Eric Hall and HPDRE with Verizon to help make the stream possible. It's just us monkeys that.
Yeah. I think I would confirm, like originally, like I said, we need to be facing out.
We look like, what was that
Because-
show where everybody was sort of like in the crowd?
Well, we're in witness protection.
Yes.
You probably shouldn't have become an owner of Hooked on Driving Northeast then.
I didn't think that.
It's visible.
Because all I can see
We
is
got a problem silhouette.
This is true.
It's just
All right. We're going to go to a small table, and at least this is good for comedic value for individuals watching. We drive much better than we stream, just so you know. Well, sometimes.
We can teach people how to drive better than we stream. That's what we do with Hooked on Driving. You're better than we stream, we can make that happen.
Don't sit on my.
Listen, here we go.
There we go.
Don't get jealous, Claire.
There we go. So as you can tell, we're all very close. We're here at Putnam Park. Paul, thank you so much for joining us today. This is the last day, or the last full track day of competition for this year's event for the 40th anniversary. And it's great that we can be here to talk a little bit about those who have helped us bring all the coverage throughout the week and a lot of the synergies that we've spoken about. So Paul, obviously with Hooked on Driving Maine and Everyday Driver. Why don't you say hi?
Hi guys, it's very nice to see you. We've been following along, and I'm curious to hear standings from all of you, where things are at in the in everybody's standings and run groups.
Okay, well, Mark, we're at the top of the charts for the broadcast group.
Right.
Mark, where are you right now in your run group?
So we just checked, we did just check this morning, so I don't know if you caught yesterday's, so we are in tire management mode right now. You have to start and finish on, you have to start and finish on the same set of tires, so we are in tire management mode, so we are dialing it back, but not back, we're dialing it back to what we think, as long as we can stay in our class lead. So this morning I went out, my out lap was an easy out lap, I didn't go hard. Second lap, I went a little harder, felt like, okay, this is easy on the tires, I can just maintain this at the same, pretty much the same time within a tenth from my second lap. I thought that would be enough to hold off Team Michelin, and who is currently second in points in our class. And I was lucky enough that it did hold them off. You know, they're in tire management as well. We've had a very kind of a long, fast, hot track, so it's really beating up on the tires. And so I was lucky enough to where we turned just enough to stay ahead of them, and we actually stayed well enough in overall points. So overall points right now, Cody and I are sitting 20th and first in class.
Awesome, congratulations.
So yeah, thank you. We're really excited. We quite frankly, when we signed up to do this, it was, hey, let's go have fun, cruise around, and then we literally, the first session of the first event, I came in, I'm like, we're 25th and first in class. Is that a fluke? Cody goes out, does like a 20th first in class.
Yeah, he beat you
Yeah.
again and again.
I was in the wet. Shut up.
Just saying, he still beat you.
Doesn't matter that the wet first try. That's but yeah. So
He has
that's
to stand it.
right. I look horrible. So yeah, and we just kept going, and it just kept. Here we are, and we're near the end of this thing, and now we've got it where literally we could come in second or third in our class the next two events and still win.
It's true. And, I think what's interesting is also all of the HOD affiliated teams
Yeah.
are doing well. Not just talking about current versus legacy, but we have some lap pups, Cody aside,
Yeah,
are first timers here. Brian Valente, Logan Ellsworth, lap pups here.
yeah,
And holding their own, getting to the end. And here's a perfect example of them going to tracks that they've never seen before.
never been on a sim, none of that stuff, and they're using the things that Hooked on Driving has taught them to use on track. They're picking up the lines, they're doing their trail braking, they're getting the turn-ins, they're not abusing their tires. All the things that we teach at Hooked on Driving, they're using to be in this event and have a great time. And the next one, they're like, okay, now we know this event is about. Now they'll probably be a little more, even more competitive than they are now, and they're doing fantastic. It's awesome to see.
And apart from just the skill set that they've honed, they're able to take a comfortable and relaxed approach to learning a track.
Yep.
The nerves aren't up here.
Right.
They have that familiarity with being on tracks and with learning something new without an instructor here.
Right.
So and you look at somebody like Brian, he's in his third year of DE now.
Correct.
So he's got 2 full years under his belt, and
He's just moved to
few
C group,
months.
I believe.
Yeah.
So he's just moved to C group, and here he is. This is awesome. It's great to see.
So
Fantastic.
So Paul, tell us for a second, if you would. Obviously, you guys picked up the mothership and are going through a whole bunch of changes here. But how does it make you feel knowing that the thing that you now have and that you are working together to change to make even better is capable of doing something like this?
We're excited to go, and it's opening up new frontiers, of course, that's my message. To offer a large audience for a long time. We don't really know what's near you, so I can organization if you want to improve your driving skills. And Mark, what you're talking about is situational awareness and where your eyes are. It comes down to where your eyes are at on track. And that's what I was by myself. But we've talked about this for quite a long time. We've never had anything off the audience. And now we do, and that is nationwide, thanks to all of you. That is, hey, let's come and enjoy this and improve your driving skills. Driving is still fun. We always discussed about autonomy versus people who don't like to drive versus car nerds like us. But driving and the situational awareness and how that translates to street driving and your own skills, that's what this can do. And by the way, it's going to grow at the time. And ultimately, I hope you guys are having an amazing time doing this. And get together, have a great time, making memories. That's what we want for one lap and done driving and everyday drivers as well. So it's growth and solidifying that and projecting that to our audience as well.
I think I hear Brock Gates down there. I hear the unmistakable tone of Brock.
That probably means I'm about to get yelled at or something.
Maybe. Oh, that's not nice. So you want to tell him to come up? We've got a guest that you should say hi to. Thanks. So there we go. But you talk about sort of the everyday driver just having fun. So 2 cars that didn't make it here yesterday and had to now run in the exhibition. This is a perfect example that we had a sort of grudge match between a Porsche 911 Turbo S and a Chevy Malibu.
Right.
I wasn't aware that Chevy Malibus were competitive on any level, but I could be wrong.
You'd be surprised at how wrong you're not. So it was very interesting. I think they got through 1 or 2 laps by the time they did all three. And then
Right.
1.5.
They would launch together.
They launched together. It was a bit of a spectacle. It was fun. And to your point, they're having fun with cars that they probably shouldn't be on a track together. But it's in good.
It's a good fun. Both people are well aware of the cars around them.
Absolutely. Cody, I mean, why do you talk to Cody for a minute, Paul, about his first time here? See what he thinks.
I would love to hear that. Cody, you're going to have to tell them all about your, I think, driving suit, because I can't tell, is that Dalmatian? Great.
A little bit of both.
That's a full mix of everything, so it's supposed to be snow camo. But it's been a cow, it's been a Dalmatian, it's been white, I don't know. It's everything you want it to be.
Like, okay, man.
It's entertaining. You're very small, much on here, but it's entertaining. So
It punches you right in the mouth. It punches you right.
He's very small in real life.
But no, the first time, so as everybody knows, I'm a lap pup, and it's been great. I mean, it's tons of the HOD families here, so I know people. I'm not nervous and wondering if people's judging me or whatever. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's helping everybody, and it's been a great time. I mean, it's even the people that I'm meeting. Scott Boers, great guy. Never in a million years I think I'd beat him or these other guys that are here, professional teams.
And Scott Coors, by the way, for those who might not be understanding who that is the Coors. So if you go get a Coors, you're drinking Scott. I think that's how that works, right? So and Scott.
Maybe if you want to put it that way.
That took a sour turn. I love Scott, but even Brian got
let's keep it on the next one.
Paul, as you can tell, it's a long week and we're all sleep deprived.
A little punchy days. Yeah. So I guess I have a question for you. It's from the outside, right? So you're not here, you're kind of gathering information from the outside, watching the lives, talking to myself and Mark. And what do you feel that this event is bringing to HOD even?
You know, I'm looking at this from, I guess you could call me a laptop as well. And what this is doing, because ultimately, and Brittany Rucker and HOD have always said, we're not having fun, we're getting it wrong. So what this is a very concentrated opportunity to solidify, make new friends, and really improve your skills. But it's in the context of having fun. There's certainly competition, and that element is what drives people, but it's done in so many ways so that we're not, looking down on newbies and the experienced people are still learning things. I think that's what this represents in a very concentrated way of doing that and bringing people together. It's hard to ask for anything better.
No, and I agree with that because, and it does kind of roll over to being here like that, right? It's almost more fun off the track just with everybody and sharing stories, hearing stories and how things used to be back in the old days compared to now and so on and so forth. And it's literally bringing the sport tighter and tighter together, in my opinion.
So is anyone with the creaky voice back in the old days?
That's right. That's
So he doesn't need to.
Or that's usually me during the second run group or the second half of the day when my voice starts to crack when Solomon disappears for an hour.
Wow. So, I mean, let's think of it this way. Let's do some basic math, right? So let's say there's 7 events, right? Eight events, right? 8 track events. Each one has 2, so that's 16, right? So each track, time you're on track is roughly 7 minutes, really trying, right? So you're looking at, do times 2, because you do 2 sessions. You're looking at 224 minutes of track over 1 week. Okay, so that's the amount of time that you're actually focused in, dialed in, and going after. You have
20 minutes are we driving?
exactly.
Yeah.
So out of all of the other minutes in a week, 224. So that is roughly less than 1% of the time that you're actually on track running. So you have all this other time for shenanigans, for terrible food, for really bad jokes, and for interesting smells to waft around the car. So it's something that, as Cody and Mark pointed out, you have to like the people you're with enough to endure that for a week. And the people who are in the event outside of yourself, they have to be likable as well, or else there'd be Fight Club every single night.
No one talks about Fight Club.
No one talks about Fight Club. But so there would have to be. You acknowledge that that exists. And then like last night, for example, the live stream this morning, had Howard, who's been doing this for a bajillion years, and Randy Post, who's been doing this since the Flintstones actually had their covers. Speaking with 27-year-old first timers here. And I mean, there's nowhere else in the walk of life that those conversations would have happened organically.
Well, think about my first time as well.
Yep.
I go to Howard's car and do my one lap shot.
Mhm.
Now, mind you, Paul, I've driven 8.5 or 9 hours to get here. And I meet this guy, he's awesome. I do a little shot of bourbon and maple syrup. Yeah, it's a lot of weed. I mix together. Now and then when I come back, I do another shot. Now I'm a lap dog. So until then, you're lap up. Well, I get talking to Howard, and I kind of recognize his last name. Geez, there's the Fevers back by where I grew up. He goes, where'd you grow up? I tell him. He goes, yeah, that was me. I grew up there. He goes, well, you probably knew my dad. I tell him, he goes, yeah, your dad used to do all the work on our dump trucks. So I drive 9.5 or 8.5 hours, wherever it is, to meet a guy I grew up 10 minutes from, and who now also lives an hour and a half from me currently. So like, a connection that never would have happened because of one lap. It's crazy.
And I'm going to interject for a second because we have another special guest, Brock Hayes Jr. Just so people can see you taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm more important than everybody else.
I'll stay sitting down.
You can have, I'll actually mic you up here so you can have a conversation with Paul.
I
So
do.
this is Paul, everyday driver. Paul, Brock Hayes Jr., Brock Hayes Jr., Paul.
Nice to meet you, Paul Smucker, Heritage Driver. I'm driving down through pretty lots of the guys there, and it's pretty awesome. And we're watching and learning from afar. So thank you for all that you do. We're very excited.
Well, thank you. I try to do as little as possible and watch everybody else do it.
I love it. I love it. So you're wrapping things up, and I want to understand some things are kind of winding down. How has the event overall been going this year?
It, like they all do, like what they usually do, we drive around, we bend some cars, we fix some cars, they break some cars, they fix them again. We go off track, we get back on. Everybody's smiling. That's the only gauge that I have that's important. And everybody's, good. And everybody's safe so far. We got one more session at speed. And no, I'm quite pleased. As long as everybody else is smiling and not yelling at me, I think that's a success.
That's your gauge. That's the meter.
Well, we've been through a variety of, controversies this year and in past years, and we kind of muddle through them. And some days we have to reread the rules for them, and some days we have to make adjustments because we didn't foresee something. But it's in flux, and everybody understands.
And you think about 40 years on here, and there's still stuff we haven't seen.
Yeah, there's always new ways to reinvent stupid.
In a podcast for sometime on camera, I'm asking permission to use that.
Well, sadly, I've written a lot of quotes that journalists and people have used over the years. Probably my most famous one is, "All season tires suck in all seasons."
Thank you.
I knew you would. Yeah, but some of them I probably don't know about, and probably I don't want to know about. But that's, I stand in front of people, you say silly things, people sometimes remember some of them. Length of retention is my friend.
That's excellent. My favorite saying, Brock, is don't be the person that makes us create a new rule.
Exactly. Yeah, we have several we have several personalized rules here.
We have duplicates.
Yeah, we have duplicate guns, we have the Eddie Brownfield boarded tire rule. We have the Danny Pop run out of sequence on a drying track rule, because he was here and he lost his keys when it rained in the morning. And mysteriously, when the track dried, he found his keys. And the rule back then was a 10-second penalty for running out of run group. Well, I looked at him and said, whatever you run will be our new penalty. On a 2-mile track, he beat everybody by a minute. So the rule now is if you run out of run group, it's 30 seconds per racetrack mile.
Ooh, seriously?
We haven't had many people get that one, yes.
Test came close, but they got here with 1 minute and a few seconds to spare actually today.
That would, yeah, it would have been 10 seconds.
Oh, they did make it? No,
Yeah,
they made it.
Yeah.
With like, literally, they came in, they stopped at the beginning of pit. There was a crowd of one-lappers that descended on the car, who are not on the same team, obviously.
Right.
Yanked everything out of the car. I think Andrew drove here in his driving suit and helmet. And then he pulled right into the secret. That's
They
awesome.
They pulled everything but one screwdriver up, which fell out down the front strip. We never found the pointy end.
Somebody's tired.
Great, yeah, great.
Since it wasn't a racing service, it'll be a surprise for the mower one day.
Launch it through a window. Yeah. I just got a beer with a lawnmower.
My beer
Go down the seat.
Then we're all going to jail. Thanks a lot, Ron.
My big fear wasn't that it was gonna puncture a tire. I give a shit about tires. It's the tire picking it up and
It says differently. Which is why you're all slowing down, by the way.
round and black, round and black. That's all I want. I don't care. They hold the air, they work. If they don't hold air, you just go slower. You had 3 tests in the steering wheel, you might have figured out what to do with them.
See, it doesn't, Paul, this is one thing. It doesn't, I can win this event, he'd still say, one of these days you'll learn how to drive.
You got a profound nanny car.
Turn it off.
You still got to do it better.
It's because I'm smart enough to evolve.
And none of your controls are actually touching anything at a damage.
When's the last time you rode a horse? Actually, he does have yard.
Hey, I knew how to ride a horse.
So,
Yes, I have horses. I have lots of tack. Do I know what to do with it? No, it's just like my toolbox. No. I have every tool. I'm just not allowed to use it.
So imagine this for a week, if you will. You get a great ab workout throughout the week. And it's,
Paul, at the beginning of the week, I had an afro.
it's forever memorialized on the YouTube. So we go back to get them later.
At the beginning of the week, I had a lot of care and anxiety. Now I don't give a shit.
he knocks me down and walks all over it.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go run an event. It was nice meeting you. Next thing at work. Thank you.
Pick up your book, a copy of Brockisms at Amazon. Or you can find a replay coming soon.
That was like, anyhow.
Almost beating.
Let me move.
So yeah, so Mark and Cody are gonna have to head down to get into their cover because we're just getting ready to start the second session of the day here at the 2024 Tire Rack 11 America. I had to swallow those off, it didn't work. And yeah, it's been fun, and for all watching, as well, we're gonna watch this later. It's been an absolute pleasure today. And by the way, I see that he's wearing a chicane shirt.
Yes. Oh, speaking of chicane, Speaking of chicane, Cody and I'd be wearing ours, but they haven't seemed to come in yet.
Sitting in your house.
No, so, but anyway, no, but I'll tell you something. But I'll tell you, no, but on that note, honestly, the Michelin guys, because obviously he's got their Michelin sold, right?
Is the outside of yours wearing off?
No, it's it's not cold yet. No, apparently.
Did you have to flip your shoes around?
No, we've already established that I generate more grip anyhow. Right, so, what's it called? No, but the Michelin guys themselves have said to me, how are you wearing Michelin shoes, but we're not in this? You know they have your exact colors,
Right.
the cars that you're driving. So,
Yeah.
Paul, I think you can get the chicane guys, and I think there might be a little marriage to be made there for you, because they don't seem to even know that those exist.
Don't worry, we'll sell them some before we leave.
Yep, there you go.
I'll use the code. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We're gonna go over to the, we're gonna check out the live stream, excuse me, the track, the action on track. I'm retarded today. And what's it called? And we're gonna have some more fun. You can join us if you'd like, or you can go off and do more important things. Whichever is your preference, but Mark and Cody.
Yeah, we gotta boogie, we gotta get Cody in the car.
Yep.
It's his session this afternoon.
All right.
Good touch, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Cheers.
You too.
I love you too, Paul.
See ya.
Brian and I back. That's us. We're gonna flip around and. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go away for a moment, and then we're going to come back, so this way we can turn the phone the way that you're gonna enjoy it, instead of looking like this the whole time, because the orientation will be locked, and we will be right back with you. See you shortly.